People love saying Aussie car manufacturing is dead. Sure, Ford closed its factories, Holden did the same without even saying goodbye. Even Toyota stopped building its cars here. The production lines went cold and buyers moved to imported SUVs. That's the popular story. Here is the part people miss. Australia stopped building cars for everyone. But did we accidentally get better at building them for auto obsessives? I recently got up close and personal with Zeigler Bailey, or ZB 4.4. It costs $1.6 million and only 10 will be built per annum. And I gotta say, there's a number of things that took me by surprise when I saw the operation in person. Carbon fibre body panels, anyone? The ZB 4.4 looks like a Restomod. It's designed around the classic G-Series Porsche 911 from 1975 to 1989. But calling this a Restomod kind of undersells it. This is a bespoke production. Only that 5-speed G-Trag manual transmission is from the original, along with a select number of body parts and components. Everything else, much of it is designed, engineered, and even manufactured or 3D printed here in Australia. But here's the thing, and I'm going to be blunt with you. At this sort of money, why wouldn't you just buy a brand new top tier Porsche or a famous Restomod from overseas? And let's face it, $1.6 million is a lot of money, and that doesn't even include the donor car. So I asked Greg Bailey, one of the founders, an uncomfortable question. Is anyone actually going to buy this vehicle?
Absolutely. There's customers who want to buy these cars. We've already got a book of 8 that we are building cars for right now. Our future plan is to be building about 10 cars a year. I definitely foresee that there's a demand for these really bespoke, high-end cars. And so that's why I think we have this place in the market.
The ZB 4.4 gets Le Mans-style rear pushrod suspension, and most intriguing of all, that custom-made 4.4-litre flat-six air-cooled engine, which pumps out plenty of power, and it should be in a very, very linear fashion too. Plus, the engine bay has glass panels, so unlike a lot of Porsches, you can actually see this engine. But for all that, and it's a very high level of all that, what is actually going to compel well-heeled buyers to get into bed with these guys and commission one of these very expensive machines? Now, let's talk about what actually makes this vehicle special, because the engineering behind this ZB 4.4 is where it really justifies its existence. That rear suspension uses inboard pushrod actuated coilovers, Le Mans prototype level tech. The front runs adjustable McPherson struts. You get 17-inch forged billet aluminium and carbon fiber hybrid wheels, plus Brembo calipers with optional carbon ceramic discs. And that engine. Oh, that engine. A 4.4-litre air-cooled flat-six is a thing of beauty, but air-cooled engines are harder to build, harder to tune, and require genuine craftsmanship compared to modern water-cooled donks. There's no hiding behind water jackets here. You get it right or you get it wrong. And Zeigler Bailey appears to have got it right. Inside, you'll find power-adjustable bucket seats from Porsche as standard, tartan and Napa leather, and you can upgrade to GTS spec or even carbon GT3 bucket seats if you want. The upholstery continues across the dash and door cards as well. It's all very retro, but very modern too. The instruments are analog look digital gauges that are arranged exactly like classic Porsche 911s. It does look pretty cool. There's an open gate titanium gear shifter in there, and yes, a 9-inch central screen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, sat nav, data logging. It's a pretty cool setup. But let's double back to the price again, because all up you're paying around $2 million once you've got the donor car in there. And for that, you could get 3 Porsche 911 GT3s that are only a few years old. You could get a pretty high-end Singer, fully restored. You could probably get a hypercar if you wanted. But here's what you can't buy: a vehicle designed, engineered, and built entirely in Australia.
I think our point of difference is the fact that we are small and niche, and we have this customer experience with the customers being involved in the build. They all then enjoy that journey and the experience, and it becomes these little niche clubs essentially.
Zeigler Bailey says each car takes approximately 12 months to build, and they're not limiting sales to Australia. This is designed for global markets.
My ambition is to one day have similar little workshops like this all over the world. I don't want to just have one big super factory here in Australia. Having these little global clusters, I think, is when our next big step.
The question isn't whether $1.6 million or $2 million is expensive. The question is whether buyers will value exclusivity, genuine craftsmanship, and Aussie engineering.
So there is, this is not a Restomod. It's not just a rebuild. It's really a completely new engineered car. So we've really lifted the quality and we produced something that I think is unique in its structure, in the way that we built it, in the completeness of the system globally.
And like all good coach builders, you can go completely troppo with options on this vehicle. So this is the crocodile leather. Here's why this matters beyond just another exotic car. Because while everyone was focused on mass production, Australian engineering never stopped. Premcar is designing and engineering Nissan's Warrior vehicles for Patrol and Navara, and they've been a sellout success. Walkinshaw has been busy remanufacturing trucks and SUVs from Ram and Chevy, while RMA is doing Ford F-150s. They've had a few issues, but you get my drift. All of these companies in Australia, all of them employing the wealth of knowledge and expertise that was fostered here by the big car brands, the mass manufacturers back in the day. And we're seeing much smaller companies like Ziegler Bailey building exotic sports cars from the ground up, and it's inspiring stuff. There's a lot of talk about Chinese car manufacturers flooding the Australian market right now, and they are. But while everyone's watching that story, Australian automotive innovation is quietly building steam. The Aussie automotive industry isn't dead. It's evolved. It's more specialised now, and you could argue it's more ambitious than it's ever been. The Ziegler Bailey 4.4 is proof that Aussies still build awesome cars.
One of the things that we really like about this project is the opportunity to build something in Australia that we as Australians can be proud of to sell to the world.
And honestly, the way the script has flipped, moving away from mass market and big volumes to niche players and smaller volumes, might be just what the Australian automotive manufacturing industry needs right now to really blossom and flourish down the track. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Is this Ziegler Bailey operation a good blueprint for other Aussie startups? And what would you like to see? Maybe something a little cheaper, potentially? I don't know. Leave a comment below and I'll see you next time.